Hello, this is Charles Starkey, Starkey and Company here. Today I'm with my friend Nick King, one of the most interesting people I know. Nick originally from Massachusetts, then studied music in Montana, and now lives in Missouri, where he's been involved in his local community both as a city council member and as a state representative. But in addition to that, and the reason we're talking to Nick is because he has owned a couple of different businesses, and we really want to talk about his experience and what he's learned as an entrepreneur. So, Nick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing terrific. It's great to be with you, Charles.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about the businesses you have and what they do.
Well, my business, I have a business called King Marketing, and I do two things. One is sort of a sideline. It's a synthetic lubricant business that I've been involved with. My father started with a company called Amsoil about 45 years ago, and I've used that product for a long time, and I have a lot of customers. But what I spend most of my time doing is working with health insurance.
Okay. So from our discussions, I understand you predominantly sell one type of health insurance, one company. Why that one company? What is there that you like about them, and how can other business owners learn from this?
Well, you know, it's really interesting. I find myself attracted to things that I think that are going to help people. There are lots of health insurance companies in the world. I'm licensed with a lot of them, but I only work with one because it is consumer oriented and it's making a difference in people's lives. It's saving them a lot of money and providing better benefits, and it does a wonderful job for them.
In running your businesses, what kind of problems have you faced? What have you learned from these?
You know, the thing that I've learned more than anything else is that there's a formula for success, and that is you need to act in faith. You have to have faith in yourself and faith in the product or service that you're providing. Then you have to work hard and you have to work smart. And if you have faith and work hard and work smart, you're going to find success.
Okay. And so if I were somebody that was coming to you asking about starting a business, or I own a business and I'm struggling in my business, what kind of advice would you give me?
Well, I would say learn as much as you can, get a mentor, and learn as much as you can about what makes a business successful. What do you have to do? What kind of understanding do you have? And especially if you can learn from other people's mistakes, or in my case, if I can learn from my own.
So what kind of mistakes have you made that you've learned from?
Well, I think that probably my biggest mistake is not following my own advice initially. And you learn from failures that, okay, I should do this differently. I need to be better at understanding what the real process of success is.
Business isn't a straight line. You know, it's curvy and takes lots of turns, has been my experience. So what kind of advice would you give to somebody?
Well, you know, the people that you gather around you that can give you success, finding yourself a great mentor, someone who has had business experience, especially in the area that you're particularly interested in, is going to be very, very helpful.
So you're saying not to worry about being in competition with them, you know, but that you can learn from them if they're willing to help you with that.
Well, yeah, for example, a lot of my initial starts and stops happened because I didn't have anybody that I probably could have found somebody, but I didn't have anybody that I could go to.
So where would you go to find somebody like that?
What I did in this, for example, in my insurance endeavors today, and I've been in insurance off and on for 46 years, okay, so that's long enough to know better, okay, but I've always been kind of a remote, on my own guy. I'm not in a big group, and so, but I have a couple of people. When I have a question, I no longer try to figure it out just on my own. I pick up the phone, I call Sean and say, Sean, this is what's going on. What's your recommendation? How would you do this? What do you see as the pitfalls and the potential positives in getting this done?
Okay. So something else I noticed looking through your background and from our discussions is, as I mentioned, you've been involved in a lot of public service, both from orchestras that you've performed in and volunteered at, to the city council, to also the state representative. So if you own a business, how can that help you grow your business?
Well, I'm really proud of that association with the orchestra. I actually founded the orchestra and conducted the orchestra and choir for 7 years at Christmas time. And that was a lot of fun. So what happens when you've got a group of 150 people standing in front of you? Well, they get to know you. And in our work, the more people that know you and really begin to relate to you outside of your work time, the more likely they are to have confidence in coming to you and seeking guidance and advice.
Okay, and it helps build brand awareness. When you're running, is that right? You have to put out signs and things like that. So that help you grow some also?
Well, running is an interesting thing to do. Running for an office, and that does get you more face time and recognition and so forth. Especially if you happen to win. But even if you don't win, you're out there in the public and people get to see you and talk with you.
So one of the things we're looking for is small business owners, hopefully watching this podcast, this video. What kind of advice do you have for them if they want to be able to offer health insurance for their employees so that they can provide a benefit to them?
Well, that is a great question. The problem that small business owners have is they go out to get a bid for group insurance and they're shocked, okay? Because the premiums are huge and the flexibility or the options that are placed before them are very limited. They all look the same. They're all very expensive and so on and so forth. So my message to them is don't give up, okay? Because there are solutions. That's one of the reasons why I work with the firm that I do, because we bring affordable pricing and flexibility and plans that businesses can, where actually the employees, although the employers don't often like me to tell them this, but what we give the employees is completely portable. They can keep it. They can take it with them. They're not locked in, etc. So there are plans there that the employees and employers can afford, that'll bless their lives, that have, without getting too salesy, that have some amazing benefits compared with the standard offering that comes to them. So don't give up. There's a solution.
And we are talking about insurance, not these shared ministry plans.
Right.
So it is an actual insurance product that is available.
Yep, and everything that we do is approved by the state of Missouri, or whatever state we're operating in. I work in 9 different states, and everything we do is approved, so they know it's going to work, it's safe, and it's a blessing in their lives. It makes them happy.
My guest has been Nick King, King Marketing. I'm Charles Starkey, and this has been Bet on You.